Welcome back to Northwest News. In this episode, we covered the deadly parade shooting from the perspective of Northwest students who were in attendance. Reporter Shelby Singleton attends the blood drive and more. Your Northwest News starts right now.
Thanks for tuning in to Northwest News, the show where we provide the latest coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Tristan Clark.
And I'm Libby Ehlers. Before we get into this week's episode, be sure to hit that notification bell for all the latest news coverage as well as other KNWT content.
This past week, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion held a trivia night aimed at spreading awareness of Black history to educate people on the events and history of the rights of African American citizens. Reporter Libby Ehlers takes us there.
The Office of Diversity and Inclusion, also known as the ODI, hosted a trivia night to close out Black History Month in the J.W. Jones Student Union. Students gathered in the ballroom to participate in a trivia night, including prizes, pizza, and education over key events and people that impacted African American rights. LaTanya Davis, the coordinator of diversity and inclusion here at Northwest Missouri State University, spearheaded this event alongside Mark Hendricks, the university events scheduling coordinator who emceed this event. Prior to trivia, I spoke with Davis about her role in the ODI and how this event serves students here on campus.
The Office of Diversity and Inclusion is a place that provides a space for all of our students to feel seen, heard, and represented. We celebrate the Heritage Months, and we usually have a speaker, a fun event like today, and also we can provide interactive events and just things to help students understand the different heritages that are all around our campus.
After speaking with Davis, I spoke to Denise Neal, a student ambassador for the ODI who also serves as the president of the Black Student Union, to gather her thoughts and opinions on the event itself.
I think my favorite part was actually all the behind the scenes work. I got to see LT kind of just advocate for the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, so it was really cool and empowering to actually see her throw on this event and have such an amazing turnout. I think that every major and every minor that is here, they're supposed to have diversity within it. It's just really important to open your mind to different cultures and different ideas that people might have. That's the only way that we're going to grow as a community, and I think it's really special to have it in Maryville because it is so small, and having that diversity office and just having that area for people to come and learn and grow, I think that's really cool.
To learn more about the ODI, visit their office inside the J.W. Jones Student Union or check out their Instagram, NW_diversity and inclusion. Reporting for Northwest News, this is Libby Ehlers. Be on the lookout for more events held by the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, as coordinator LaTanya Davis is always looking to educate the student body on history that is often overlooked, but is paramount to bringing a more diverse community and society to the forefront. We now take it to a more serious topic and highlight of this week's paper as reported by the Missourian.
Northwest was a ghost town the day of February 14th. Many students chose to skip class and attend the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. What was supposed to be a day of not only love for Valentine's Day, but also celebration for the Chiefs pulling off the impossible. Cheers quickly turned into screams.
The celebration took a quick turn when shots were fired at the rally. One woman was killed and 22 had gunshot wounds, 11 of which were children.
Two of the students at the parade were sophomore Trey Smith and exchange student from the Netherlands, Yara Verstappen.
Smith was near the shooting when it happened with a few friends and ended up getting separated from his group. He said everyone started running and he was walking toward Pershing Road in front of Union Station.
Smith said this was the first time he's experienced anything like this and was relieved when he found his friends and was able to make sure everyone was all right. He said it's still hard to think about.
For more on these stories, check out nwmissourinews.com or pick up a paper out of the boxes on campus.
With Kansas City being just an hour and a half away, Northwest saw not only students attending the parade, but faculty as well. Reporter Katie Bird had the chance to sit with students and staff to capture their perspective of the tragedy.
On Wednesday, February 14th, tragedy struck at the Chiefs Super Bowl celebration rally. What was supposed to be a fun day for fans turned deadly. Many Northwest students were in attendance and have firsthand accounts of the horrific events that unfolded. Agnesa Dezolt, an international student who attended the Chiefs parade, described her family and friends' reaction after they heard what had happened, along with her perspective on the tragedy.
We were not there, but when it happened, I called my mom. It was my first reaction to do it. And she got very scared because of coming from another country. We always think about the United States related to like weapons and shootings and like people dying because of this. So of course she was very scared, but then I told her that I was not there. Since like the United States is so big, I mean, I don't feel that danger all the time, but of course it's always something that can happen. I'm sure it's also because of the fact that weapons here are so easy to buy. It's not like that in Italy, in Europe in general. So every time you go to a big city, a big event in Europe, you always feel the threat of something happening, you know? And I thought about it before going to the parade. I was like, oh my God, almost 1 million people are gonna be there.
Travis Surprise, instructor of emergency disaster management, was also in attendance at the rally. He gave advice for what to do in unforeseen circumstances like these.
One, always be aware of your surroundings, right? Be situational aware. But if something starts happening around you, leave. I mean, it's not worth. It's great to see the Chiefs players. It's great to see the rally. But if people start arguing and whatnot, just leave the area and just get out of there. Your life's not worth. Or getting hurt's not worth seeing something that you want to see. So if people start arguing, any kind of civil unrest, just leave. And looking at it from an emergency disaster management standpoint, just the inability for people to move out of the way fast would cause a lot of harm, in my opinion.
Hannah Jonas at first thought the gunshots she heard at the rally was fireworks. She had to flee from the scene and take cover. She described how this experience has traumatized her.
So honestly, it's been really hard to process it, and I'm still kind of in denial. I know that it's happened, but I forget that I was 30 yards from it, and it's been hard for me because I've been going back watching videos of it. I trying to process it, and I still can't. It's really frustrating for me, and it also just makes me really sad for my friends that did see people who got shot, because it's affecting them really bad. I want them to know that it's important and okay to talk about it, especially with people who are there or people who are affected by it, because a lot of times people are just okay, it didn't happen, move on, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's really important to actually talk about it and get help if you're affected by it.
For Jonas, the memories are all too real.
The two of us girls just got down on the ground, the guys kind of got on top of us, and we just started praying. It was just really hard, crying, and then we ended up going to the group counseling session.
If you or anyone you know needs support, Northwest has help available in person at the Wellness Center, along with crisis counseling support by dialing the number 988. Reporting for Northwest News, I'm Katie Bird.
As Katie said, if you or anyone you know is struggling, Northwest is here for you. The university provides in-person counseling at the Wellness Center, as well as crisis counseling support by dialing the number 988.
Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we walk through Amina Palmer's unique Black History Month event, as well as reporter Shelby Singleton taking us to the blood drive held in the Union. You're watching Northwest News.
Kirsten, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? Making TikToks? And it's not about what I do. It's about what we do here. So we start with storyboarding the content we want to create for our clients. It could be anyone from small businesses, nonprofits, and organizations both on campus and in the Maryville community. We write, we film, we edit, we create, and then we wait. So if you're someone who thinks you need us, we are KNWT Creative Services.
Thank you for sticking with us, and welcome back to Northwest News. Follow us as we walk through another highlight from this week's issue of the Missourian.
Black History Month at Northwest is coming to a close with a few events, including visiting artist Amina Palmer. Providing a new voice and perspective on art, she embraces language and identity with photographs in a recent lecture.
Palmer has created art that explores the idea of expression and personal identity since middle school. Even with no specific event that inspired her journey, her interest in art came to her when exploring and interpreting photographs. For example, Palmer often creates photograph collages to convey a specific meaning.
Her goal in her art is to storytell with what she sees around her, utilizing that as her personal language. Her lecture took place at 7 p.m. February 19th in the Olive Duluth Fine Arts Building.
Palmer said, "I enjoy the ideas of using my photos as a language per se. I think of photography as my first language in that way."
She experiments with communication with the use of images. Oftentimes, she will find keywords of an image and form poetry out of those words. So the poem and photo coincide as a form of communication.
For more on these stories, check out nwmissourinews.com or pick up a paper out of the boxes on campus.
When we return, reporter Shelby Singleton takes us to the blood drive held in the Student Union. You're watching Northwest News.
Hey Al, it sounds like there are some people that don't know about the show.
We've got some time.
Let's roll.
So you want to know about Now You Know. Think of us as your go-to spot for rundowns of your favorite things. Everything from toys, tools, holidays, and more. We've got you covered in here
And out here. I'm Katie Bird, and I'm on campus asking about what you know. For example,
A second ago, you didn't know what this show was. And now, you know.
noon on Wednesdays at KNWT TV.
Welcome back to Northwest News, the place where you can find news and whereabouts on what's happening in the Northwest and Maryville community.
This past week, the Student Senate held a blood drive put on for the students to give them a chance to help out a good cause and to give back to the community. Reporter Shelby Singleton takes us there.
The Student Senate annually sponsors blood drives in cooperation with the Community Blood Center, allowing Northwest students the opportunity to donate blood on campus.
So Student Senate is the bridge of communication between the Community Blood Center and then the rest of all the students and faculty. So what we do is we've been working with the blood drive people for probably 2 months now, just like getting promotional material and stuff like that, and then we post on social media. So right now there's a national community blood shortage, like there's not enough blood to go around, so the goal was to kind of get the capacity back up to where it should be. The purpose today was to get Northwest students involved in the blood shortage, which we've done a great job. I just talked to the lady. She said that we'd met our goal.
After talking with a couple of students, I asked them why they chose to donate.
I donated blood because, I'm like a healthy individual. There's no reason for me not to give blood. I also take it pretty well too. Like I don't get lightheaded or anything like that. So there's no reason for me not to donate blood.
I'd say the reason I tried to donate blood today was growing up, I always had, like my family always donated blood, so it's kind of like I wouldn't even say tradition, just something that I always wanted to carry on kind of thing.
I'm a regular donator, so every 3 months or so I get a call from either the Community Blood Center here in town or I get a call from Red Cross to donate. I have O-Pos blood, so I can donate to all positives. So I just donate A because it feels good. It feels good to be done afterwards and you sleep really, really well. And B because it helps people.
Volunteering to donate blood can be fearsome, but Northwest students tell me that it's definitely rewarding in the end.
I would recommend donating blood because it just gives back to people that, say you're in the hospital and you need blood. It's always nice that it's just there for you, and it's something you can do that takes like 10-15 minutes out of your time to help people.
Selfishly, it feels really, really good whenever you're done because you're like, I just saved a life or I just did something good for someone else. But also, it is just a good thing. You get done with it and you're like, I'm helping other people, and if it were me in a hospital bed and someone had donated, then I would be getting that help from someone else. So I definitely recommend that people donate their blood. You have enough of it to go around anyways, so might as well.
I would definitely recommend donating because it doesn't take that much time, and like I said, there's a blood shortage, so there's people out there that are, waiting for blood to be delivered to them because certain blood types can only give to certain blood types, you know what I mean? So it feels nice to give back.
For the stories that matter to you, I'm Shelby Singleton reporting for Northwest News.
If you weren't able to make it to the blood drive on campus, there's always local blood drives happening in Maryville or even in your hometown. It is estimated that every unit that is collected is attributed to saving 3 lives.
Well, that's all the time we have for Northwest News. Be sure to go to the description below to re-watch certain sections of our show.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates. This has been Northwest News. Thank you for watching.